Yeah, I accidentally stopped the video. We're gonna do pumpkins again this year, so I just planted a couple right here in the lawn. One of them doesn't look so great, but the other one looks like it's taken off. That is going to take over this entire corner of the yard if it does take off, and I'm sure it will. So those are going to be the red bumpy decorative pumpkins this year, so that'll be interesting. They look kind of warty. Here's my tomatoes. I've actually got 3.5 varieties planted here. This year we're going to try the Sun Sugar in the back there. We get Tammy G over here, and this one is Porter on the left. And then I've got just some tiny little ones that I tried to grow from seed that I had them in the house for a good 6 or 7 weeks or something. They just never took off. So I went ahead and planted them. If they want to go, they can go. If they don't want to, they won't. I don't care. We'll have plenty of tomatoes. But these are all grape and cherry varieties. That's just what we like the best in our household. They just have the most wonderful sweet flavors. I'd much rather eat these any day than a big, I don't know, big watery tomato. These have flavor, Over here we have the Sweet 16 apple tree, which I had to severely prune again this year. It did produce a bunch of apples last year. Ooh, I should tell you, I got probably 15 Cortlands last year. Sweet 16s, I think I got like four of them or something. And maybe we'll get a similar number this year. But if you look at the tree from this angle, you can see how flat it looks, almost like an espalier. The reason for that really is that I had a branch coming out down here that was almost the same size as the main trunk. It was, really competing hard for leadership. So I just took it out. And I think there was another one somewhere over here that was also taken out. So the tree looks a little flat right now. But anyways, we do have flowers. So we'll get a bunch more apples this year. These are all Sweet 16. All the grafts I've tried on this tree all failed. The Cortland is very receptive to grafting, I've noticed. Sweet 16 and Honeycrisp, not so much. I don't know if I grafted too early or what, but they never took on those two trees. The Cortland, however, was very receptive to grafting. This is my cherry. It's kind of a wimp. It looks much more leafy and beautiful than it has in the past couple of years. I think it's been struggling to get established here since I planted it a few years ago, but this might be the year where it really starts to take off. Over time I've struggled with whether I should prune the top of the tree like I did here, or whether I should just let it grow straight up, which I've done this year. So, if you do clip the top of your cherry tree, those branches want to grow out horizontal, so you have to do something like tying it to keep one of the branches straight up as your leader. So it's probably best if you don't head your cherry trees every year. So over here we have some kohlrabis. They gave us 9 for, one low price, so I only really wanted 1 or 2, but since they gave us 9, I bought these planters and stuck them in there. So those will be good. These are going to be some flowers. There's not much going on. You can see a leaf here and here. They're starting to come up, but I forget what even kind of flowers those are. This is the white lilac. It seems to be a natural dwarf, and it had a whole lot of dead wood in it that I pruned out this year. No flowers on it this year. I think it's another case where, I don't know, this one just really struggles to survive in this environment. This is my experimental box elder that I just keep playing with. I might end up taking it out. And then this over here, this I'm pretty happy with too. This is my original raspberry plant that I planted, I don't know, about 4 years ago or something. Raspberries would really just love to take over your entire yard if you let them. These are all raspberries that have spread out. They're coming outside the fence. I can't keep them contained. The real reason I fenced them at all is to help prevent, keep my blind dog out of there from trampling them all to death. She's like 15 years old. She's really old, so but yeah, I had to do something to keep her out of them, so she doesn't know where she's going anymore. So I wanted to protect some of my raspberries and get a bigger crop. Now all of these are babies, except maybe for one here. You can see one growing up. This one right here. Yeah, you can see it better here. The rest of these are all brand new ones, so they won't fruit this year. But in 2016, we're gonna have raspberries up to our ears. Yeah, I'm just letting them take over this section of the yard, so I don't recall what variety those raspberries are, but oh, this is my experimental silver maple tree. Just playing with that. Of course, we've got lilacs growing all over the place up here. This one probably needs to be cut down. I cut a bunch of the other ones down, but this is Blackberry, Eleni hardy, and it is a very erect blackberry. I did say blackberry, right? Yeah, it's a blackberry. It's sending up some new shoots down there. These are the ones that are fruit this year, so I should get a few, a handful or two of blackberries this year, hopefully. This is a wild raspberry, I think, that started to grow in another section of my yard that I've decided to transplant over here and allow that to grow because I had a blackberry in that spot that had died 100% that I tore out. So now I put this wild whatever it is, I think it's a raspberry, it's got thorns on it, in its place, and it seems to be really doing well in that spot, so we're gonna give that a try. Over here I've developed a compost pile. It's pretty meager right now and it looks stupid, but it'll be effective. Planted some flowers over here. This is a triple crown blackberry. It gave me 3 or 4 berries last year, and they tasted fine, but I really want this thing to get established, so I'm going to keep it watered better this year and whatnot. That won't fruit at all this year. Got some Hallertau hops. They're climbing the vine here, or they're climbing the rope, I mean. Yeah. And Cascade hops. They're a little later, but they're doing well anyways. They established themselves a week later or so. And this is my Hinamaki red gooseberry. There were a whole bunch of flowers on here. We should get a good number of gooseberries this year. What do I do with them? Nobody knows what to do with their gooseberries. Everybody says, oh, make jam out of them, make jam. Well, this variety is sweet, so that you can eat them like grapes. They're delicious. They're just wonderful. I love them. So I'm hoping to get a whole bunch of those this year.